If you support shared parenting or any issue, any political issue you support, you want to know how you can raise the volume of your voice and multiply the power of your vote by about 1,000 times? A committee person is that way that you increase the power of your participation in government. A committee person is an unpaid elected position in a political party with the closest access to the voter in each election precinct. According to a 2004 survey by the United States Election Assistance Commission, there's an average of 1,100 registered voters in each precinct in the United States. The committee person has two powerful duties and responsibilities. First, go to your political party's convention and vote on who your party will publicly recommend to the voters at the upcoming primary election. That means that one committee person recommendation could potentially be worth approximately 1,100 votes. The committee person can vote on to recommend candidates as high as the President of the United States and as small as a local council person or school board member. The second big responsibility, communicate that recommendation to the voters before and on Election Day. I spoke to 3 people, a political activist, a party leader, and a committee person about this power of a committee person, and here's what they had to say. First, activist Susan Settembrino, an attorney and author who fought against corruption in New York. She was actually shocked at the extreme power of the attorney committee person for judicial elections, as illustrated by the New York Bar Association's manual to young attorneys, advising them how to obtain this power.
The Bar Association advised the attorneys, do some of the following. Become a delegate to their party's judicial convention. Collect signatures for a judicial candidate. Donate funds to support judicial candidates. I'm quoting, by the way. The Bar Association admitted that the attorney must become known to the people who appoint judicial panels, that most screening panels are active members of the bar or community groups. And this is crucial, that judicial elections are primarily determined de facto at the nomination stage. And the election, well, that's just a formality.
The tasks that she referenced, become a delegate to judicial elections, that's the power of a committee person to endorse candidates. The other tasks that she refers to are also roles and duties of committee people. But most importantly, she recognized that in most jurisdictions where one political party is stronger than the other, when a judicial candidate wins an endorsement vote, the candidate goes on to win the election almost always. The endorsement serves as the function of an appointment process. Neither she nor I are suggesting that this is a good thing. Merit selection would be better for the public. We're only pointing out the way that things are right now, and the way to gain influence for political reform is in participating in the political process. I also spoke with the former executive director of the Pennsylvania-Delaware County Democratic Party to discuss the impact of the committee person in primary elections. Primary elections are critical in locations with one-party dominance where there's no competitive general election.
Many of us do not realize the impact the committee people can have in the party, in the state, and in the overall politics. The committee people votes to nominate the candidate of their precinct or their municipality or their state. Their vote decides whose name will be on the ballot. How powerful it could be. County, state, and even if you go in a bigger picture, nationally, because the vote counts even at a national level. When the endorsement happens, the committee people are the one who's voting. You're shaping the future of this country.
2 recent congressional primary races in Delaware County give a perfect example of the power of the committee person. In 2016, Mariam Balkunis defeated Bill Golderer in the Democratic primary despite her only having a fraction of his fundraising ability. She was supported overwhelmingly by the Democratic committee endorsement, having been a lifelong Delaware County resident and political activist. 2 years later, in 2016, in that same district, Delaware County, 16 candidates sought the Delaware County Democratic nomination, and the race was decided by the strongest committee person support, as the ultimate Congresswoman, Mary Gay Scanlon, got 218 committee person votes compared to only 155 for the second place candidate. The third person I spoke to, a longtime committee person, Diane Leanne, educated voters on the power of the state committee, the group responsible for the election of state officials.
It is the body that sets the state platform for all of our local elections. It supports for all of our elections in Pennsylvania, other than national ones. The National Party sets its own platform. But each state has its own platform, and we set that as members of state committee. What are our principles and our standings on education, on crime, on diversity, on discrimination, on all kinds of issues? There are different planks, and how the Democratic Party, or the Republican Party for that matter, of Delaware County or of the state of Pennsylvania are going to run is based on that platform. And it's their job to evaluate candidates and then vote on them for an endorsement. Now, an endorsement just means that that's who the party suggests we vote for.
When voters come to a polling place and they see state recommended candidate for governor's race or any of these statewide judges, and they see Democratic Party endorsed candidate, does state committee have anything to do with that?
Yes. The state committee does a recommendation or an endorsement for, as we're talking about. They make that endorsement to the counties. They go up to Harrisburg. They have this big meeting where they then endorse. And they send that recommendation out to the counties. The counties then take that recommendation along with their whatever local races they have, and they present it to their committee people. It's up to the committee people, the local committee people, to vote to endorse that or to not endorse it. And if they endorse it, that's the ballot you see. If they don't endorse it, then you see a different ballot. The committee person has a big role to play in all of this.
Because of why?
Because it's their vote. They are the ones that vote.
The committee person has a second job. Each election, the committee person stands at the polls and hands out to each voter who hopefully they formed a relationship and said, look, I have researched this candidate. This candidate is more for us, the voter. He is for you. It is my recommendation that you vote for him, which is a powerful political tool in making policy.
That's the idea.
You see, there's a network of powerful committee people who act as a go-between between the elected officials and the general voting public. Each committee person makes recommendations to approximately 1,100 precinct voters as a representative of that political party. The voice of the committee person is supposed to be one of knowledge and authority, someone who conducts a candidate screening process with independent research, interviews, and meeting with those potential candidates. Whether you support civil rights, anti-corruption, family court reform, or good conservative values, if you want your voice to be heard in government, volunteer to become a committee person. Contact your local political party, whether it's the Republicans, the Democrats, independent, or other, and become a party insider, a representative and voice of the voters. Then your protest voice and your voting voice becomes 1,000 times stronger. I hope you like this episode. Please watch other videos on my YouTube channel.